We've been looking at out of Eden, and we began to establish the fact that whenever you want to know God's original will, you have to go to His Word. Whenever you want to know God's original will, you have to do what? Go to His Word. This series is very important for all of us, and it's something I'm particular about because a lot of people are going through serious hard times, and I'm aware of that. A lot of people are facing a lot of tough times, whether it's financially or maritally. It just seems like this is a season where, most negatives in the world are almost at their highest. Divorce rates are at their highest. Sicknesses are definitely at their highest. New ones are still coming out. Financially, especially in our environment, a lot of people are going through, a hard time. You see, but let me tell you something. I've never, if not I'm a pastor and I need to pay attention to those things because of the people I address, personally, I do not pay attention to those statistics, personally for my life. And it's not arrogance or ignorance. It is understanding. Because for you as a child of God, whenever you want to search the will of God for your life, you do what? You go to the Word of God. The things that the world call normal, they are not normal for you. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? You must understand this, guys. That your reality must always be what God is saying over your life. That must be your reality. When Adam was in the Garden of Eden, his reality was divine health. His reality was divine provision. His reality was divine protection. That was his reality. What we call normal today was not normal for him. And normal is always changing for human beings. Do you understand, guys? Normal is always changing. That's why you must be careful of what you are accepting as normal, because the moment you start accepting it, you start entering your life. I'm very particular about this series because of what a lot of people are going through, and I want to appeal to you. Try and understand what I'm saying. Buy these messages, or it's free. Get these messages, listen to it. Let it sink in. You don't have to suffer with the world. That was never God's plan. Suffering will be going on because that one must happen. That one is prophetically in scriptures. That, there will be darkness and, more and more darkness. There will be gloom. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? But inside all that gloom, inside all the prophecy of how the end times and the last days will look, there are still prophecies and promises that God that's given to you, that He will take care of you. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So you are free to still hold on to that one that God has said. Hold on to that one that God has what? Said. We have allowed ourselves get so comfortable with living outside Eden. Don't get so comfortable with that life outside Eden. That life where there's struggles, that life where there's sinfulness, that life where there's, distance from God. We have gotten so used to it. We have gotten so used to living outside of Eden. It's now normal to be sick. It's now normal to be weak. It's now normal to be broke. That's not your normal. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? That is not your normal. I'm not saying everybody must be a billionaire. There's no such promise in Scripture. But God has promised all of His children that He will take care of them. I'm not the one that wrote it. I wasn't there when He wrote it. I'm not the one that decided. I'm not the one that even convinced Him to do it. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? My job is just to say yes and amen. Now the Bible says that every Scripture is yea and what? Amen. That's my own job. God said, I'll provide for you. I say, yea, amen. I'm not going to argue and say, but God, are you aware of the economy of where I live? Do you know the price of oil now? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say, that the economy of the world, China is broke, most part of the world is broke, everybody's broke. Why are you are giving your economic advisor to the Almighty God? Is somebody getting what I'm saying? There will be hardship, and it will get crazier and crazier with time. If you watch CNN, there's nothing you won't see. Oh. They said there were wars and rumors of wars. Some of them, they didn't even announce it again in broadcast. It scrolls. That means it's small news that 100 people die. No, wait till we go use the broadcaster talk. Now we'll go type them. Now text. It will scroll that 100 people died in so and so. Bomb blast. They scroll it. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? These things are going to happen. Like I said, I believe God, maybe before the end of the year, will do a series on the end time, on the last days, so that you understand, you will see the correlation. You will see how serious and how close we are to the last days. You know what some people are thinking? Some people are thinking that when the last days are coming, that there will be a special announcement. That, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially. That's what you are thinking, Abby? I wish I had time today, but today I'm trying to put everything I want to say quickly. Do you know, some people are thinking that if God wants to talk now, he's going to make, God has said everything he's ever going to say. And listen, every time God has spoken, people always took it for granted, because at that time it didn't sound like it was God talking. When Noah was telling people it's going to rain and flood everywhere, they say, come on, all these pastors. I can imagine this blog. Mad prophet says the world is going to be destroyed. Then you can't see comments. And you see, I don't mind comments from unbelievers. What pains me is when I see people that are supposed to be Christians. Some of them are even in church here now. They are in churches today. You go to church and you are still cynical about the things of the Spirit. You are like, they should give you a award for one of the most, I don't want to say you are dumb, but you know, they should give you a word. Because unbeliever at least knows he doesn't send the things of God. You still come to church, but you are cynical about everything. Everything. You know, the people that, it's even the pastor that they are coming to listen to the man of God. Say, You are a world class, I don't want to insult you, but you know, I'm telling you. Then you don't go and sit at home and watch football. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Because they must have thought Noah was just saying rubbish like that. Noah was a servant of God. They was saying rubbish. You know what happened? In the Old Testament, I don't want to, let me just stay with my message. Because if I go into what I'm talking about, God is not going to make a special announcement again. No. This is it. We are in it. We are in the last days. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I say we are what? In the last days. There's no special announcement more than this one. He has already said it. That you must always live prepared. That it will come like a thief in the night, meaning you will not be expecting it, except you live in certain areas. There's only people that live in certain areas that expect a thief in the night. Most normal human beings are not expecting what? A thief in the night. They say that's how Jesus is going to come. It's going to be unexpected. We're just going to continue our normal life and it'll just show up. I think when God is going to come, there will be thunder and lightning. Do you know when God first gave the 10 commandments to the children of Israel, there was thunder and lightning? He probably thought that would show them the seriousness of the commandment. Thunder, boo, lightning, boo. He thought, now they're going to listen to me talk. Then by next week, they were still misbehaving. So since that time, God doesn't do thunder. He'll just tell you what I'm telling you now. He'll just write it. Remember the guy that died, the rich guy and Lazarus? You know that was not a parable, that was a real story. I hope you know that. Because real people were there, Abraham and Co. It was a real story. Rich guy and Lazarus. When the rich guy died and went to hell, he didn't believe it that, this hell not true. So he said, please send, he said, let me even come back and go and tell my brothers that this thing is true. And they told him that, look, they have Moses and the other prophets to tell them. That means they have the word of God to tell them. He said, no. He said, Abraham, we they hear word of God. We don't believe now. We don't hear about our pastor when they come now. They come church, they look for guests. We know they believe anything they talk for church. That was what that guy was saying. Abraham said, the word of God is there now. And there are preachers there. He said, no, don't be that kind of thing, no. We they go church, but we don't believe anything they talk for church. And there are loads of people like that. Let me see. Abraham said, no, said they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear those ones. He said, no. See the guy's suggestion. Next verse. And he said, nay, Father Abraham, you don't understand. He said, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will believe. No, it's a good idea. Don't laugh. It's a natural idea. Meaning, if somebody don't die, don't see the hellfire, come back, come warn them, say, guys, forget this sin. That's what Pastor K talking about true. All those things they tell us not true. So they will believe. That's what he taught. Next thing what Abraham said. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses, and they hear not the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. He's saying, look, if this pastor's preaching on every day here, if they don't hear those ones, even if somebody come from the dead, they won't still hear. And guess what? When Jesus died and came from the dead, is the whole world saved now? There are still some people that have not still heard. Somebody has actually come from the dead. Jesus died 3 days and woke up and walking in the city. But it's not everybody in that city that still got saved. So don't wait for thunder and lightning. No, this is it. Let me try and move quickly. I've spent 10 minutes of my time. But the point is this, guys. Eden was what God planned for us. A place where he takes care of us. A place where he is involved in our lives. And we don't have to struggle. If you're struggling in your life right now, please listen very carefully. You can reconnect back to the Eden experience. That's what I'm trying to say. You can reconnect back to it. And throughout this month, we'll be looking at how you should reconnect back to it. What you should do to reconnect back to it. So let's look at the story we read last week. That's going to be where our main test will build from. The guy called Enoch. So let's start from Hebrews 11 as we did. Verse 5. The guy called Enoch. I told you last week that the name Enoch means dedicated or devoted. It says, by faith, Enoch was what? Translated that he should not what? See death. And he was not found because what? God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that what? So imagine your granddad, it's not even a granddad. Imagine your dad or somebody you know enters a room and you go in after him and he's not there again. That's what happened to Enoch. Enoch did not die. There are only 2 people that had that experience throughout Scripture, probably even till now. First one was Elijah, or second one was Elijah. This guy was the first guy. This guy did not see death. I told you last week that everybody gets humbled at death. Everybody shouting, abusing God. See this rich man. This rich man was I'm sure he was a big boy shouting. When he was in hell, he don't humble. Everybody is humbled at death. Everybody. No matter how big or powerful you are, when you see death, you're humble. Are you here, somebody? Because death represents reconciliation. Everybody, they fear reconciliation. Reconciliation is a time to know what you've been doing with your life. It's like exam period in school. When they announce that exam timetable is out. How many people remember that? You are enjoying your life in this school until you hear the announcement. And there's always one Efiko guy wearing glasses that rushes to the class happily and say, exam timetable is out. I mean, from the time that exam timetable comes, people enter an emotional state. Am I correct? Because it speaks of reconciliation. All what you have been doing throughout this semester and throughout this term, we're about to wait now. And nobody likes reconciliation. At that time, medical facilities get full. People get sick. You see, when we try to teach people that your internal state affects you, they don't understand. That's what I'm saying. What you're focusing on matters. It's not your physical reality is there, but it is controlled by your internal reality. How do you explain how they announce the exam timetable, more people get malaria? Is it that more mosquitoes came out of the timetable? It's not mosquito biting them. And they have a real physical condition, no, not fake, real condition. But it was born out of a physical state. That's why people are fine. You tell them they are not fine. Somebody walked with his two legs into a doctor's office after they finish examining him. And tell them that you have kidney problem, you have liver problem, you have back problem. He will come out like this. He bounced with his two hands. They will carry him on which as he's going. Because they say you have kidney problem, liver problem, back. And you can't see again. Saying short, I'm not even seeing road. I don't know how people open their whole heart to receive such information. If you can open your whole heart to receive a word from a man, called a doctor, why are you not opening your whole heart to receive a God that created that doctor? Why are you not opening your whole heart to receive it? Because that doctor doesn't even know everything he's saying himself. He's still studying. Are you here, somebody? So Enoch disappeared. It was a story I heard during the week. A man of God was sharing this story where their Bible school is in Colorado. I've actually been to the ministry before to attend the conference. It's in Colorado. If you have been to Colorado, beautiful place. So there's a place called Woodland Parks. There's this man of God that bought hundreds of acres of land for ministry, Bible school and all that, campus, all that. So he said that land was prophetically their own. He was explaining how they got the land. He said there was one man that him and his brother owned most of the land in that particular area. They owned most of the land there. And that man kept saying that people that serve God are weak people, that God is just a crutch, people that don't want to walk and don't want to do anything with their life use. He was arrogant like that. He was not a bad person, but he was not a godly person either. He was not a Christian either. He always felt that people that prayed to God and went to God were people that were weak. People that didn't know how to groove life, or they don't want to embrace life. They want to have a crutch. When he got old, maybe in his 80s or thereabout, I told you that when death comes, no matter how you are about to go and meet your maker, there's something inside you that tells you, my brother, be careful. No matter who you are. No matter who you are. When he was old, he now even got cancer on top. So death was imminent. They had given him like 2 weeks. You don't have to do cancer now. They'll give you your date. With it. EDD. Expected date of death. It's not only expected date of delivery for EDD to expected date of death. So in that course of time, he got born again. You see. This same person say, God is a crutch. Now he has did the crutch. He got born again. When he got born again, he said he began to regret all the while that he didn't serve God with all his life. Let me tell you, some of you now are doing, but that's when we say join department, when we say give, when we say you will appreciate me for challenging you to give. Trust me. Don't worry. I know you're angry with me now. But because suppose if they see that I bring different cars, please, those cars are not my cars. Oh, I beg you in the name of God. No, nowadays, there are too many cynical people in churches. So I have to be explaining it. My car is a mechanic, so different people in church give me their cars to use. Please, because I say we're doing projects. And you are still coming to the church now, and I'm praying for you. It can never work. You're a joker. I'm saying you're the biggest joker. You should go and do a show in a hotel. You're a big joker. Because you're coming to the same church, you don't believe in the same anointing in the church, you're a joker. As people are receiving healing, their sickness will be jumping on you. You're a joker. Because spiritual things don't work like that. You must tap into it. You must key into it. Let me leave that one. So, what was I saying before? They don't make me verse, eh? Colorado, what did I talk about Colorado? Regret, thank you. So, the guy was now regretting that, all his young life, he didn't use to serve God. That was so some of you will appreciate it tomorrow that we challenge you to serve. You will appreciate tomorrow that we challenge you to give. Some of you are eating all your money. You see, somebody weave that ladies are buying original hair. Hope you know it's people that are worshiping Indian gods that are cutting those hair down for those gods. They want to worship their own God. They are cutting their hair. You use your tithes to buy somebody's tithes. You see that heaven can be sweet for you. I hope you are saying it. Because that hair, that human hair, somebody cut it. Oh, some of you don't know that's how it comes. Most times, those human hair you are seeing, those long ones and the real ones, it's people in some of the Hindu worship, it involves them cutting their long hair. So they go to the temple, they cut that hair as worship. Then the people there carry it to sell. So you now take your tithes that you're supposed to use to worship God to go and buy something that person gave to his God. Hair is now your own God because you can't make any sacrifice. You will appreciate me. Don't worry. But there's some of you here, you've made pledge. You are eating your pledge. Some of you are driving your pledge. You better drive that thing to heaven. Oh. If it's only on this edge you're going to drive it, you will regret it. Oh. You will regret missing the opportunity to do something for God. So this guy, of course, at old age, these are things people regret in their old age. Now, why didn't I serve God? I was just drinking beer. All this beer you're drinking, they know you in bar. Which award? How is it going to count in a few years? You're even killing yourself. But you are very proud of how your drinking capability. Say, me, if I take 6 bottles and my eyes still clear. Are you okay? Are you okay? See what you're bragging about. Me, I can drink 6 bottles start. My eye goes still shine. I said, seriously? A grown man, this is what you're talking about? People suffer from chronic low self-esteem and they don't even know it. Trying to brag about something, look for something great to brag about that you know God. If you're ever going to brag that you have a relationship with the Almighty God. That's something to brag about. God whom I serve. That's how a lot of great men used to talk. Say, God whom I serve. Paul also said the same thing. God whose I am and whom I serve. That's how to brag. Not, hey, me, they know me in so-and-so star beer parlor. That's your own bragging. I'm a regular in the VIP lounge where they drink it. I'm a regular in nightclub. That's what bouncers, when bouncers start greeting you by name. In nightclub. My sister, something's wrong. What was I saying before? So the guy began to regret, Jared. This guy regrets story, no one pass. The guy began to regret that he didn't serve God. So he now told the person that led him to Christ that the land he has, massive land, 100 and something acres, so you know what we're talking about. He said he wants that land to be dedicated to Christian service. That he wants the land to be dedicated to ministry and to Christian education specifically. He said he was even seeing the buildings that would be on the land. He described the buildings, and those are the exact buildings on the land today. And the land is being used for Bible school exactly today. Do you understand? This was just God giving him a chance to still key in to some things before he crosses to the other side. Once you cross to the other side, there's nothing you can do about your status. It's here you can use to make that side good. Once you cross, there's nothing you can do. If you didn't win any soul, if you didn't do anything for God, that's how you know Korofo, that's how your rank will be. You know Korofo? Some of you don't know Korofo. Korofo is that police or soldier that is just starting. They don't even name, they don't write his name. Because they can stop, you can sack him at any time. Korofo is nothing on his chest. He's the lowest of the police. Or lowest of the, even civilian can beat himself. He's lowest. Plain. Compare that to a major general or a lieutenant general. You know, my dad's burial was a few weeks ago. My brother is a major general, so I'd never seen army officers like that. They were everywhere. They were armored carriers. Chief of army staff was there. So imagine the amount of generals that were there. Generals, full ground. If you see the stars. 3 stars. Even their car has star. There's 1 star general. They put it in the car. So that when you see the car coming, you know who is inside. So there's 1-star general, they put 1 star. There's 2-star general, they put 2 star. Then there's 3-star general, they put 3 star. When they see car, they get 3 star. Even if you don't see who they, you go salute the car. They don't born you well. So if you see those generals, because for you to be a general, you have gone to many wars, you have gone to many of those things. So, and every time you go to a war and come out, they have what they call that in Jethro. Medal. Apart from the medal, there's one that they put on uniform. No medal is ceremonial a bit. There's one that those things you see some things. Basically, some color-coded things. So when you see soldiers with those things are not fashion. Those things represent missions or war fronts that you have gone to and come out alive. So when you see those generals coming, their rank is there, stars and eagles and everything. Then you see the medals and you see their wars. That's how heaven will be. When you see somebody like Jethro coming, shh, shh. See Minister Shuko coming, shh, shh. Then you see Bomboy coming. Korofo. So what do you do with all your life? You were going to bar, drinking Star and Stout. Is there in the Bible that those that will turn many to Christ will shine with the brightness? So they are trying to tell us that our brightness will be determined by how much we did for God. That's how our brightness will be determined. So that man in that is dying. How many? In fact, he lived just a few weeks as a believer. But in that few weeks, God quickly told him, look, this land is for me. When you're dying, things you're holding on to dearly. You go to finance, you go to give them out. Have you seen people relocating to Canada before? Your flask, when you love with all your heart, you are going to Canada. You want this flask? Your car, when you love, you go say any price. When you are relocating to heaven, all the things you're holding dearly, now you go to finance, you go to give them to God and give them to people you go bless. So don't wait till that time. Don't wait till that time. So Enoch walked with God so much that he's one of the only people that never saw death. Everybody fears death because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how it's going to even happen. They don't know how it's going to happen. Am I going to close my eyes and I'll go? Or will somebody angel come and slap me and I will die? They don't know, because that word die is the only, even scientists have not been able to resolve what actually happens and how it happens. They can't. With all the atheism and agnostics, and when you come to death, we are all sure death is imminent for everybody. It's sure. And nobody knows how that break in transmission will be when you disappear from here and appear on the other side. But they say Enoch, he didn't see death. I said there was no burial ceremony for Enoch. That's how we announced the passing of our father, brother, grandfather, Enoch, who passed on so and so and so. This is the obituary. There will be no burial ceremony because we can't find him. No burial ceremony. He walked with God, and the natural was suspended. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you key into this Eden life, the natural, what people call normal and natural, it is suspended for you. And the beauty of this is that no matter where you're coming from, maybe your background is very tough, maybe you are very broke, maybe you are very broken. If you walk with God, whatever was called normal before can become supernatural. God can come in. That's the beauty of it. So it doesn't matter where you are coming from. If you walk with God now, He would give you a better life. He will give you a better future, no matter where you're coming from. No matter where you're coming from. If you walk with God, 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 your life will be better. Nigeria is too small to frustrate you. Are you here, somebody? Walk with God. What is God saying about to you? What is, living life without God makes you so empty. Social media is very interesting. When I look at some people's pages, I see the emptiness. It's just shoes, bags. It shows what is a big deal to you. Designer bag. It's somebody's name. Oh. Louis Vuitton is a human being. Oh. Hey, God, help your children. I go into God's mind and picture how ashamed or pitiable He will look at His children. That bag is what is tripping you. Bag made by another human being like you. Not that the bag came from heaven. It's your mate that went into factory. If you even see where they make those things, you'll be ashamed. And just make it shine. And put name. And you are running mad. Your clothes are falling off. To sleep with somebody to get bag. And God will be looking, I pity you. Because when you get one bag, you feel high for 2 minutes. By the next week, you feel empty again. The same way drug works. People that sell drugs don't take drugs. They have a constant supply, but they know that there is no end to the desire for drugs. Drug doesn't cure the desire for drugs. Drugs only makes you desire more drugs. So when you buy one 𝕰𝖊𝖓 bag, yellow, very fine. See the challenge. First week you are excited and you take it to your party or wherever and everybody's clapping for you. Woo! Other empty people. Yes, because the people that appreciate you for emptiness is other empty people. Real people that have sense will not trip for your heavy. Like you go woo, woo, woo. Now that they've clapped for this your yellow 𝕰𝖊𝖓 bag, are you going to bring the same 𝕰𝖊𝖓 bag next week? Even if you bring it, they'll say, this is your 𝕰𝖊𝖓 bag. We all know them. In fact, some of them would now be prophesying that party, they look, now that her 𝕰𝖊𝖓 bag, she go bring. So when that shame start catching you, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go and get what? Another one. And some of this thing, you know the kind of things some girls do to get it. They hang them on fan to get this thing. Okay. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? It's an empty life. Shoe is what is exciting you. Shoe that are made by another human being like you in a factory in China where there's corona. Is what's exciting you. By the way, please, today, let's pray about that thing so that to be stayed. That's why we're here. We're children of God. We should allow the devil be having a field day. Anything killing people is not good. Because some of those people will not have a chance to even hear the gospel. So we'll speak to it to stop. And it must not come to Nigeria. In the name of Jesus. We command that plague, wherever it's coming from, whatever the source of it. We speak to it to stop. We command it to stop spreading. And we command it to start reducing. In the name of Jesus. Spiritually, we speak against any powers behind it. We command their plot to fail. We neutralize their power. In the name of Jesus. And Lord, we ask for wisdom for those trying to provide the vaccines. Supply them creativity. Supply them wisdom to find the cure. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah. It is a part of how we walk in Eden. Because sometimes we don't enforce the power we have. We just criticize and describe the problem instead of speaking over it. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Let me start to round up here. So, if you look at Genesis 5, Genesis 5 was genealogy of Adam. They started from who Adam was, Adam's first son, and they were mentioning genealogy of Adam down to the end. And the only person that they said something else about was Enoch. That's the only person they said something else. The rest, they were just saying this was his age, this was when he gave birth, this was when he died. But when they came to Enoch, they said a little more about him. Start from, is it 18 we started from? Oh, okay. He said, and Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch. He said, and Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and what? Daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he what? Died. That was it. Hey, may this not be how they write your story. He lived in Lagos, entered traffic, suffer where. Bad government came, suffer where. gave birth to children. All of them suffer well. And he died. Then they continue to suffer well. As in, really? May that not be your story. That's why when you have a chance to do things for God, do it. Do it. All those that are giving towards that project, listen, on the last day, with all the souls that will be touched on that site, they will accrete to you that you built that church. Do you understand? That would be one of the things that will be in your CV. That you joined to build a church. Nobody gives you an award for the church you attend. They give you an award for the church you serve. I'll say that again. Nobody gives you an award for the church you attend. Because some people, that's their work, looking for the good church to attend. That's what they are doing. I want to go where I'll be blessed. Should have grown beyond that by now. Look for where you'll be a blessing. Start serving. Not a hand. Look where you're blessed at your age. And he died. Next verse. 21. And Enoch lived what? 65 years. And he begat what? Methuselah. Next verse. And Enoch did what? Walked with God after he begat. You understand? This was his introduction. This was his life. They didn't mention his field or his career. They said Enoch walked with God. And he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. Next verse. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Next verse. And Enoch what? Walked with God. And he was not. For God took him. He was so close to God. I can imagine the level of intimacy he and God had. I can imagine the kind of closeness they had. How many of you think God taking him would have come to him as a shock? Do you think he was surprised? I'm sure God must have told him, say, hey, guy, I dey feel your gist. I dey feel the fellowship over the share. You want to come this side? You go come? Enoch said, okay, give me 2 or 3 days, make I round up everything what they do. So I do quick. I go pick you 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Enoch walked with God. I want somebody taller than me to come. If you're taller than me, come. Better be sure you're really taller than me. Oh. No, be this your haircut. Oh. Is he taller than me? Where? Now the happy sign, yes. And I thought you tall? Yes. So Enoch walked with God. I wanted somebody to tell us how you can see the person. If I'm telling the person, you will see only me walking. Enoch walked with God. Enoch walked with God. Enoch walked with God. There are 4 things I want to quickly talk about people that walk together, and that is how you will start to enter your Eden. There are 4 things. Number 1, if 2 people walk together, or if you are walking with God, number 1, you have to be conscious of the person you are walking with. You have to be conscious of them. If you are going to walk with someone, then you have to be what? Conscious of the person. You know, walking alone is different from walking with someone. When you walk alone, you don't care. You can change lane, you can stop going and return back. You are alone. But when you are walking with someone, the first thing that happens is that you must be conscious that you are actually with someone. You must be conscious that you are not alone. If you are going to walk in your Eden experience, and if you are going to walk with God, you must be conscious of God. Many people are not conscious of God. We have reduced God to a charm. We have reduced God to an idol we come and see on Sunday. And after that, we continue our normal, dry, natural life by Monday. We must walk with him every day, 247. Not only on Sunday. You walk with him. You must be conscious that God is with you. I'm teaching you how to unlock your Eden experience. So if you are consistently stressed and frustrated and struggling, then you are not conscious of God. One lady sent me a chart. She said, oh, my parents don't like me. My siblings don't like me. My friends even don't like me. Oh, Pastor, I'm frustrated, I'm tired. I say, what is God saying? You have told me what your parents are saying. You have told me what your friends and siblings are saying. I said, what is God saying? She said, God is saying, I'm loved. I said, you are loved. You are the beloved of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? We are so conscious of what human beings are saying, we are not conscious of what God is saying. Thank God for what they are saying about coronavirus. But what is God saying? God has been talking before they started talking about coronavirus. What is God saying? You are too conscious of what the world is saying. Some people, they are so broken. When people live their life, oh, my boyfriend left me. Oh, my girlfriend left me. Oh, my husband left me. Oh, my friend left me. Oh, my best friend left me. My dear, even if they leave you, there is someone that has promised, hallelujah, that I will never leave you nor forsake you. You are walking with God. You are walking with God. You are walking with God. You are not alone. I say you are not alone. The people that left are not as powerful as God. The only time you should bother is when God leaves you. Let your conversation be without covetousness and be content with such things as you have, for he has said, I will never what? Leave you, nor what? Forsake you. One is physical, one is emotional. Because there are people that are with you, but they have forsaken you. Some are not with you physically, but they have not forsaken you. Wherever they are, they send you, you know what I'm saying? But God, God said, that's why, you see, God doesn't repeat. It can't be the same. If it's the same thing, God won't repeat it 2 times. He's repeating the 2 because they are not the same thing. He said, I will never leave you, then I won't also forsake you. Oh, somebody's not getting what I'm saying. He said, I'm with you both physically and emotionally. If you have lived long enough, there are many people that are with you physically, but you know that they're not with you in their mind. Abi? I hope you know that one. No? Don't be dumb and be shocked now. I've taught ladies, anybody that break up with you, it's not that they broke up with you. They have left since. It's how to do the physical manifestation they're looking for. So don't beg them. I never beg them. Anybody that tell them they're going, I know that they've left before. It's just physical manifestation they want to show now. So to begin, they say, why are you going? What happened? What can I improve? He has left emotionally since. Looking for how to live physically. So they just match him. Say, you step on me. This relationship can't work. I can't marry somebody that will be stepping on me anyhow. And the girl was like, hey, what did it's not stepping on you that is the issue. He has left. So God said the 2. I will never leave you physically. I will never forsake you, also in my heart. Never forsake you. Never forsake you. So you have me physically present with you. You also have me emotionally and spiritually present with you. It means I really, really love you. It makes a world of difference. There's nothing as sweet in this life as having people that love you and are there physically and also love you. They're also there with you in their heart. It's scarce these days. But you see, it doesn't even matter who and who doesn't want to stay with you. The most important person says, I will never leave you, nor forsake you. To walk with God, you must be conscious of God. Be conscious of God. What is God saying? What is God saying? You are too interested in what the economy is saying. You are too interested in what dollar rate is saying. And the moment you hear those things, fear enters your heart. And once fear enters your heart, you will start acting out of fear. That's why many people's life are out of Eden. That's what happened to Adam. The first thing that hit Adam was fear. I will never get married. What is God saying? I'm too broke. What is God saying? I might never have a child. What is God saying? Even when the doctor gives you a report, what is God saying? Be conscious of, we are so conscious of the physical. That's what happened to Adam. When Adam sinned, he became so conscious of the natural. And he was no longer conscious of the spiritual. He now thought the physical was more real than the spiritual. Not knowing that the spiritual is more real than the what? Physical. It is the spiritual that gave birth to the physical. So the original can be stronger than the created one. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Second thing, I have to close because of time. Second thing, when you walk with someone, you talk to them and interact with them. You do what? You talk to them and what? Interact with them. How is your prayer life, guys? By being conscious of God first, You must realize that I'm not talking about just coming to church, like I said. We have reduced God to a charm. Oh, God, do it. All the unbelievers, they also sing to God and pray to God. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean a real consciousness that God is with you right now, as in every moment. He is a person. When you want to make a decision, he's the person you consider to ask. What you are asking, you are thinking what he would think about the decision. Many of you, when you are thinking and planning, you don't even factor God. You are calling different people, asking them what they think, but you have not asked the person with you because you're not conscious that he's with you. You must be conscious. He's his own. You want to go to nightclub, what will God say? If you are conscious God is with you, you won't go again. Because you think God is in church on Sunday. By Sunday, I would have been sober. And I'll brush very well. So that my mouth will smell of beer and cigarettes. So on Sunday, I will dress, wear my fine clothes, and come to church. Thinking that God is locked up here. No! If you are conscious God is with you, you won't take him to nightclub in the first place. You won't take him to bar in the first place. You're not conscious he's with you. You won't say some rubbish that you say. If you knew he was there, you won't say that rubbish. You won't even think the rubbish. So you talk, second thing, you talk and interact with him. So how is your prayer life? Your prayer life is not just your morning devotion, which is a major part of it, but you must pray and talk to God all through the day. Small decisions, big decisions, constantly ask God, hey Lord, what do you think? What should we do? Because if you're working with someone, you need to be talking and interacting with them. Say, Lord, what are we going to do? Should I go there or should I not go there? Should I relocate or should I not relocate? Because some of you just run because of traffic. That's not the reason to relocate. You just run because there seems to be no money here. And because you are not seeing it, there's money here. There's money here. Oh, glory to God. I said there's money here. One of my friends told me that the mayor of one province in Canada came to Nigeria to raise funds. Ooh. Because he knows investors are here. He said people that have raw cash are here. Read not story. He came to, I can give details. It doesn't matter. He came to a Ikoyi club where they are playing tennis, where the big boys are. To tell them that, hey guys, come and invest in Canada. You say there's no money here. The place you're running to is here. They are sourcing the money. There's no money, call. There's no money, nee. It's your thinking that is faulty. Talk to God. Say, hey, Lord, what do we do? Lord, things are not looking good for me financially. What do you suggest? What do you think? Talk to God. Interact with him. If you are very broke, God will show you what you can do. That's why as a pastor, I try to refrain from teaching that, real estate is where money is. Stocks is where money is. The truth is that your own money might be in something else. Do you understand? Because it's not everybody that will make it in real estate. Everybody can be making money there. When you go there, and it's not meant for you to go there, you'll be the only person that didn't make it there. Somebody ask him, what's that guy they threw out from boat? Jonah. Those guys were going on a journey. Everything was smooth until Jonah joined the boat. That boat was fine until Jonah joined. And they didn't know what was wrong. They said, what's wrong? They threw away all their load. The boat was still shaking. They now cast lots. Someone said, is this Jonah? And the moment they threw Jonah out, their boat continued. Meaning every other person was in the will of God except Jonah. So you can enter a business where everybody is saying, it's working, and you enter with your last money. And it closed. Some of you, that's what happened to you. You're rushing. And it closed. The week where you enter. Somebody get what I'm saying? So I don't know what you need to do to prosper. I don't know. I can't tell you. Anything I tell you will be a lie. Because how I prosper might not be how you prosper. The principles are the same, which is that you will give value, not magic money. You will give value and God will bless it and it will increase. Yes, but what exactly you are going to do, I have no clue. Some people say, everybody must do business. No, it's not everybody that must do business. Some of you might need to work somewhere. That's where your prosperity is. Because many people have entered business and they've lost all their money. Because that was not what God called them to do. Some people is in career that they will be blessed. They will work for somebody. That's it. That's where their blessing is. Are you getting what I'm saying? So I can't tell you, everybody must get a job. No. Some people might need to do business. Everybody must go to school. I don't know that. For somebody, that might not be what they should do. Are you getting what I'm saying? You talk and interact with God. And that takes me to the third point. You must know where that person you're working with is going. You can't work with somebody without knowing where they are going. Am I correct? Or else both of you will soon separate. You understand? The only way we can walk together is that I know that we are going here. I don't know if somebody gets what I'm saying. For us to continue working together, we must have both decided that we're going here. If we have not both decided, me and I want to go here, he wants to go here, we won't work together. Two cannot work together except they be what? Agreed. So meaning that as you are relating and interacting with God, you need to also hear God concerning your life. God has a plan for your life. God has a plan for your life. Dear child of God. That's why it pains me when I see believers suffering. You should not suffer. It's not God's will for you. I'm not just saying it. It's not God's. God has a plan for every individual that is a Christian. He said, I know the thoughts or the plans that I have towards you. Plans of peace and not of evil. To give you a future and a hope. To give you peace. Most of the prophecies, some of you were around when Pastor 𝕻𝖊𝖓 came and he prophesied that, hey, you're going around the world. Different people have prophesied. I've been hearing that God has already been dealing with me about the fact that you will travel more in this season. I need you to teach most of the things you are teaching in church to many other places. So I already knew that. So it wasn't that day Pastor 𝕻𝖊𝖓 was saying that I was hearing for the first time. Prophecy should not be something that somebody is telling for the first time. Prophecy should only be a confirmation of something you have already received. I get what I'm saying. One of my daughters, I think my last year birthday, I can't remember. She's those kind of daughters that don't. She's not even over spiritual. She's not over gym, all that. She came to me on my birthday, gave me an envelope that had foreign currency, different countries, foreign currency. Not a lot of money, but just had different countries. And she said, God said to tell me that the nations are ready. That the harvest is ready in these countries. That it's time to go. Do you understand? Now, it wasn't, she said she knows I hate people just bringing prophecy anyhow to me. But that God pushed her to come and do it. I said, you are very on point because all these things you're saying, I have already received it before. That's how prophecy should be. If somebody's prophesying something you've never gotten from God, just leave it. You must be receiving it. Don't just jump and move. Don't just leave your job and go and start business. Are you sure that's what God is saying? Don't just leave your business and go and get a job. Are you sure that's what? You must know what God is. You can't walk with someone if you don't know where they are going. You must know where they are going. Then you walk with them. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? You walk with them. One of my guys is going through a hard time, and I know a lot of human beings are going through a hard time this season. And look, I'm not moved because the solution is available. You'll be fine. I said you'll be fine. I just need you to key into what I'm showing you. It's real. It's real. I kid you not. So he was telling me that he's tired, he's frustrated, he needed money for something, he has been having a hard time. I told him, just log into God. He said, I've done that already now. Yeah, will I do that again more than what I'm doing? I said, the way you're talking shows you've not done that. You've not logged into God. Your speech is showing it. Somebody get what I'm saying? He didn't understand. I knew he didn't understand, so I asked him a question. I asked him, how do you know I'm chatting with you now? He said, because you are replying my chat. I said, exactly. You have not logged into God until he starts replying you. If you send somebody a message, nowadays that you can even remove the blue thing. If you send somebody a message, the only way you know they have seen it is if they reply you. They don't reply you, they confirm they didn't see it. You say you're praying. The only way I can agree you are praying is when you come to me and tell me what God told you when you prayed. If you have not gotten a reply, you've not made the connection. And that takes us to my last point. If you are working with somebody, you need to keep pace with the person. We can't work together if we're not on the same pace. If this guy is here and I'm here, we're not working together. I don't know if somebody's getting what I'm saying. The only way we're working together is that we're keeping pace. If you're working with God, you need to be hearing him. So you have made your own prayer request. Oh God! Your daughter is 36. And no boy is coming. Did you come out of that prayer with a word from God? If you didn't come out with a word from God, you didn't pray. You just went to cry. You need to get a word. No job in Nigeria. That's complaining. That's not prayer. the way you know you have keyed in and you have logged in, day in, day out, is that you will get a word. When God starts hearing you, if he hears you, when you start connecting with God, even if he doesn't give you the miracle or the answer today, he will give you a deposit of peace today. He will give you a deposit. That peace shows that, look, things are on schedule to get to you. Hold this piece or this document as a proof that your miracle has been dispatched. It will soon get to you. That's why he said when you pray, in Philippians 4, he said, be anxious for nothing, but with prayer and supplication, make your request known to God. He said, and the very God of peace will keep your hearts and mind. God will give you peace. That's the first thing he gives you. It's a deposit. So when you come out and say, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, you have not made the connection. That's how I know. You've not prayed. You've not heard God. Look at it here. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with what? Thanksgiving, let your what? Request be made known to God. And see what will happen. He said, and the what? Peace of God. You can't come out of prayer and you don't have the peace of God. That's why I'm telling you that the way, even though the world is collapsing, for you as a Christian, you must always be at peace. Because your peace is not coming from this world. He said, my peace I give to you. He said, not as the world gives. The world will never be at peace. Oh, if that's what you're praying for and waiting for, it will never be at peace. This world is ending, it's closing. It will never be at peace. There will keep being wars and rumors of wars, and they're developing bombs that can, in fact, there's a virus now that can kill everybody safe quickly. Bombs that can wipe out the country now. Drone without even a human being can go and bomb somebody. And you're praying for peace. There's no such thing as peace. He said, I'll give you peace, not as the world gives. Not their own. So you can't say you're praying and you come and you're crying. You've not gotten peace. You've not prayed. When you connect with God, you might not have the miracle in your hand. You might not be married. You might not have the child. You might not have the children, your husband, your whatever. But the confidence will be there that I have a word from God. Hallelujah. Have you been blessed this morning? Come on, give the Lord a big hand. Give the Lord a big hand.